Our guest today is Professor Dany Shaw. Dany Shaw is a friend of the show. It's a pleasure seeing you again, Dany. Welcome to the show. It's been a while. How are you, Dany?
Hey, Valerio, thank you for the invite. E m'avoye yon gwo aibobo pou pepa haisyen nan yon moment ki tre difisil nan la Tibonite e nan Port-au-Prince. Mwen pa ka entre nan Port-au-Prince kounya pou tout dezod ki genyen la.
Exactly. We're going to be talking about Haiti. Of course, Haiti is in a very bad situation. You know the situation in Haiti. According to the United Nations, 80% of the capital, Port-au-Prince, is under the control of the gangs. And now we're talking about Mirbalais. You spoke about la Tibonite. Ou saluer mon la Tibonite, justement, qui est une situation difficile. Dany Shaw is a professor here in New York, at New York University. You're a professor. You've been teaching politics, and you've been around the world, I should say. You've been traveling the world, and you've been very active. And you've been a voice on the street of New York and also in Haiti. Before we go to Haiti, let's talk about you here in New York. It seems that I've introduced you as a professor, but you've been fired recently, Dany. And the reason why we're going to find out, and we're going to ask you to explain to us why you got fired. And of course, we'll get into the Haiti situation. Let me tell the viewers that we're going to be doing this in both English and Creole. Thank God, Dany. Dany is a Haitian brother. He speaks Creole fluently. He's been to Haiti many times. A teacher for many years, more than 20 years, and you get fired. You were actually, let's go back to the time that you got fired. We're going to talk about the story, but first, this is what I got from you, telling the story that you were at, I think, NYU, it seems, in New York University. Anyway, let's hear the soundbite. Let's take a listen here. Dany got fired, and he's talking about it.
Yeah, my case being fired after 20 years as a professor at the City University of New York, you know, at a personal level, my colleagues know me. I teach in a I taught past tense. I'm still not getting used to this whole fired, censored, doxxed professor thing, but ultimately it's an honor to stand on the right side of history of the Palestinian people have taught us. When I was fired, my department has 17 professors, all of whom are Latino, Dominican, and Puerto Rican, and Mexican. Well, y'all get the point. Only one professor stood with me when I was fired, and that was Luis Barrios. The rest of the professors ran for the hills, pretended like they didn't know me after 20 years.
Like they didn't know you after 20 years. 20 years as a professor. There's a headline that came out, and it's USA Today, January 17, 2025. Professor Dany Shaw becomes the latest victim of the assault on free speech. Now, put us in the context here of you being fired. No longer teaching, Dany, and why is that?
Yeah, really, I think that Haiti is the Palestine of the Caribbean, and Palestine is the Haiti of the Middle East, if you will. These are some of the most exploited, forgotten, misunderstood, oppressed countries. The situation right now in Palestine is extremely, extremely serious, and I'm just the type of professor, human being, father, that everybody's equal. Everyone has a right to life and equality, and seeing the 76-year genocidal assault on the Palestinian people's right to their land, to their history, to exist. So I was vocal. They didn't even fire me for something that happened at the actual university at John Jay College of Criminal Justice. They fired me because I participated in different demonstrations in the streets of New York last year, and because I was outspoken about the U.S. Western Israeli assault, not just on Gaza, really, but on all of Palestine. So that was a conference that you showed a clip from in London last summer. And when I came back into the United States, the FBI detained me. The FBI interrogated me. The FBI took my phone. The FBI confiscated my laptop, took all of my information, denied me the right to speak to my legal team, to my lawyer. So it's just amazing for standing up for truth, for justice, whether it's in Port-au-Prince or in Gaza City, how much repression and censorship that we've been subjected to.
Very well, Dany. So you were among the professors and also a lot of students were taking the streets in New York, Columbia University, for instance, and many universities in New York protesting with against the situation in Gaza. That's what happened. And you were very vocal about it. You went on your social media speaking about it, talking about it, and protesting as well. That's when you got detained, arrested, and luckily not deported, right? But you are, of course, we're going to talk about that in a moment. Just like Mahmoud, he's still in custody, and they're looking to deport Mahmoud. We'll talk about that. Now, one of your positions about Gaza is what you did, and you posted it on IG. Let's go and take a look at that.
All eyes on Palestine, and what we have behind me is this avalanche, this media circus, and I want everybody to take a close look at the manipulation in the role of the press.
Professor Dany Shaw, that's your position about the Gaza situation. Now, give us an update of the situation now. You're not the only one that was detained, arrested, and some students have been in deportation mode. What can you tell us about the latest on this situation here?
Yeah, Mahmoud Khalil, he was a close friend. I followed his leadership and the leadership of the Palestinian students and educators. I'm a alumni of Columbia University, so I was proud to be back there working with Mahmoud and others. And the fact that you can be deported if you're from another country just for standing up against a genocide is absolutely ridiculous. It's unconstitutional. Now Trump's getting ready in August to potentially deport 500,000 Haitians back to Haiti. And the point that I was making in that clip there, right? In the last year and a half, I've been interviewed by CNN, MSNBC, CBS, Fox, New York Times, and they'll never put our voices, because the moment that we articulate what's truly going on, what U.S. foreign policy is responsible for, from Palestine to Haiti, yo pa vle tande nou. Sa vle di gen yon gros campagne censorship. Et ça fait moins mal parce que États-Unis toujours à parler, tout le monde libre pour yo parler, but really it's like a
Oui, c'est démocratie.
It's like a Trump Duvalieriste system that qui nous gagne comme ça.
Nous comprenons ça, mais l'administration dit quand même que position yo et raison qui fait que y a fait répression ça, forme de répression ça, surtout dans le campus universitaire yo, is because Mahmoud and the others, Mahmoud was one of the head of the protests, they somehow they're accusing them of being associated with Hamas. So they are pro-Hamas, I guess they work for Hamas or get money, or they have some relationship with Hamas somehow. This is the accusation that the administration is putting on the students that have been arrested and people like you that were in the protests. Of course, I mean, you're one of the people that are under that accusation. How do you respond to that?
Yeah, how ridiculous to call us terrorists or that we support this or that group. That's absolutely ridiculous just because we want to see the Palestinian people respected. Tout moun se moun. But that's the propaganda that they always use. But who are the true terrorists? You know, that's the important thing for all of the audience to consider. And as we get deeper into discussing the situation in Port-au-Prince, ça c'est un mot qui m'a toujours attendu. Et dans la rue, dans Port-au-Prince, il a dit, peuple là, masse peuple là, toujours dit que c'est barbecue, que c'est un terroriste. T'il a appelé que c'est un vagabond, un bandit. Et vital, homme, que c'est un terroriste. So, how important to truly understand what a terrorist is.
Évidemment, non tout le monde s'est cité là, justement. Et l'État haïtien, avec la communauté internationale là, justement, il a classé moun sa yo comme groupe terroriste. Nous allons venir sur ça. En entrant en Haïti, pour nous entrer en Haïti, il est intéressant pour nous connaître qu'on va aller à Haïti plusieurs fois, ou très souvent dans le pays, ou participer dans une manifestation. Ça fait des années quand même. On fait va-et-vient en Haïti, on a regardé l'image là, souterrain, nous ne sais pas qui quartier côté là, mais quand même, professeur Dany Shaw, ou tu as fait recherche en Haïti, ou qui sont fait en Haïti? Parce qu'on est que perception, nous voulons clair avec vous, on a joué quand tu tapes dans l'émission ça, c'est que un blanc à l'Haïti, Jean aller là, c'est soit un monde qui a cherché, c'est soit un CIA, ou bien un monde qui est undercover doing some work in Haiti. So that's a perception. Give us une idée qui soit à régler Haïti.
Valerio, mkwe ki se important pou mwen di, mwen pa jam resivwa yon sel dola, yon sel good pou travay ki ma fe nan Haiti. Premye fwa mwen te rive Haiti, mwen te rive au Cap, autour di nou, nan 1998, paske mwen ta vive nan Republik Dominiken, mwen gen fami Dominiken, mwen ta travay la, mwen te we an pila abi ki polisyo, soldat Dominiken te fe kont pep Haitien. C'est ça qui te motive pour moi aller parler créole, pour étudier créole, pour camper avec peuple haïtien. But I've never received anything for my work. I've published dozens and dozens of articles. I've done how many interviews in Spanish, in Creole, in English, in Portuguese, and in all these different languages. I've never received $1. I've never worked with no ONG, with no NGOs. I've only ever followed the leadership of different organizations that are in Canapé that were in, they're no longer there because they were burnt out, they were looted out, they were raped out, they were murdered out of Solino, of Kafoufe, of different parts of Delma, 19 par exemple, Fort National, Nazon, Crissois. And to see all of these beautiful neighborhoods that I've known for almost 30 years, of course, it breaks my heart. So I've always tried to use my voice the same way that I stand up for Palestine and I work with different organizations internationally. Just like Bibla Abdi, the Bible says, David versus Goliath. And the David right now are these gangs, paramilitary outfits, armed groups. It's all the same thing, the Vivre Ensemble, alliance, the coalition, they are the Goliath. They're armed with U.S. guns. I've done all the research. There's somewhere between 500,000 to 1 million U.S. guns in the hands of Jimmy Cherizier, in the hands of Katsan Mawuzo. So how can the defenseless Haitian people even defend themselves? With the Bois Calais right now in Canapé, sometimes all they have is rocks and bricks and machetes. But that's the spirit of the Haitian people. That's what they've taught me for so long. So my motivations, même si gen an pil moun ki pa ka kompon, paske pi fon moun jounen jodi a, se kob yap chèche pou yo famous sou rezo sosyo. But none of that was ever of interest to me. Mwen se yon petit bondye, mwen se yon petit la vérité, mwen se yon petit l'esprit zanset haïtien. So I can't go to sleep at night. I can't look at my own two sons, Ernesto Desalines and Kawan Amadou, my two sons, who are Brazilian and Dominican and mixed with my blood. I have to look them in the eyes, and I have to look myself in the eyes, Valerio. And that's my only motivation for doing this work. So, people love to gossip. Oh, he must be with this NGO. He must be with, but moun yo toujou parler tete, mwen pa gen problème, m'a continuer avec travail mwen.
C'est ça, ou ka comprendre, parce que quand même, a Caucasian in the street of Port-au-Prince going all around in tout slums bidonville Haïti yo, li quand même questionnable. Et ou aller des côtés que pile haïtien à moment pas qu'à aller. Ça c'est dans le temps. Nous parlons introduire histoire avec Haïti, avec une vidéo que je trouve qui est très intéressant qu'on postait sur les plateformes, réseaux sociaux. Côté que, à l'époque, quand même, l'insécurité était envahie, pour un terrain dans Port-au-Prince, on a dit que nous qui côté. Côté que, ou derrière en barricade, et on a expliqué la situation pays. Nous pas venir parler de situation insécurité. Parce que, ou à Haïti, ou fait recherche, ou parler langue, on parle créole bien. Et mon capitaine Dola qui dit, bon, blanc, ça parle créole langue courate. Et on comprend une situation comme professeur d'ailleurs, professeur qui évidemment enseigné politique internationale, donc on gagne quand même des connaissances qui fait que l'Haïti on comprend bah là façon port et on gens que nous t'arrêtons qu'on partage ensemble avec nous. Juste avant, on a regardé professeur Dany Shaw ou après l'indiquer nous qui côté et qui époque côté qu'en Haïti non quartier côté que gang yo était presque envahi zone. On regarde.
These are the homemade barricades that they make. They're manned and womaned 24/7. Just beyond me, as you can see, that's no man's land. That leads to where the paramilitary gangs have full control here in Haiti. This is a humanitarian crisis, a refugee crisis, an estimated 500,000 refugees just in Port-au-Prince. You can see some of the homes here that have been burnt out, forcing people to be internal refugees. And it's amazing that the Western press is not covering this. We've bumped into one or two reporters from France. For the most part, we haven't heard one headline about this humanitarian disaster.
You call it a humanitarian disaster, rightfully so. Nations Unies fait qu'on ait plus passé 1 million de monde qui déplacé dans la zone métropolitaine Port-au-Prince. En pile cas de violence, plus passé 2000 monde perdu la vie dans le commencement de ça déjà, avec violence gang, il y a un pile jeune fille qui subit cas de violence sexuelle. Qui soit qu'on ait de situation? Ça fait quand même quelques temps qu'on est à Haïti.
Oui, ça c'est image et vidéo où te montré là, c'est année qui t'est passé. Moi t'es dans barricade, Solino, barricade Fort National, devant Bel-Air, parce que les chefs vivent ensemble, et Kempes, que c'est un gros bandit, un gros vagabond, un gros terroriste qui travaille avec Jimmy Cherizier, ils ont toujours attaqué. Kounya moi pas qu'à aller là, parce que ils sous contrôle terroriste, et gang yo. And those were beautiful, beautiful communities a year ago. I stayed there. I lived there. You know, and that's what really breaks my heart. All of my friends who lived there, who were teachers, who were just everyday vendors, who were poets, who did whatever work they had to do to survive in Solino, in Nazon, in Crissois, in Kafoufe, these beautiful neighborhoods that I've known for 30 years now. I can't even go back there. This is a terrorist project. And of course, we also know all the drugs that are involved, all the drugs that are coming up from Colombia. This is not something new. This is what I constantly research. And a lot of my research is just talking to the Haitian people. And if people ever wonder, well, how did a white boy, how did a T Blanc, you know, rive tout bidonville, tout quartier populaire? Haitian people are the nicest people on earth. Apoi ki ou gen respect pou yo, y ap respecte yo. So I always worked with the community organizations, dirigeants, na quartier populaire, dirigeants paysans, dirigeants, organisation femme yo. That was really my passport to go around Port-au-Prince. I always had the nicest people bringing me around. But now that the drug traffickers and the arms traffickers and the barbecues have taken over all of Port-au-Prince, where could I ever go? The only place that's probably safe now is Canapé, but the gangs are trying to take Canapé. Akaye toujours fait résistance. But like you said, most of Port-au-Prince, li pa la anko.
C'est ça, you parlé de 80%, 80% of the capital itself. But now, tell me, il y a des gens qui sont curieux qui posent cette question. Bon, c'est vrai, a Caucasian men working around the slums of Haiti, going everywhere. I mean, most places that Haitian themselves, some Haitian could not even go. Look at you there, behind the barricades there. Ou pas jamais gen agression, ou pas jamais essayer agresser, ou ni kidnapper, ou ni raliser âme sous, ou pas jamais victime dans situation ça?
Non, grâce à bon Dieu, moi pas jamais victime, mais moi connais qui beau qui moi ka aller et moi gen pile amis et qui n'a peuple là, qui n'a masse peuple là, yo toujours protéger. C'est yo même qui c'est guide pam. Like they tell me, well, you can't go to Delma Amba and you can't go to, oh, they used to tell me that. I mean, now Valerio, things have changed. I haven't been able to go to Port-au-Prince for like the last year. I had to watch Solino burn down. I've had to watch how many friends with young daughters and mothers who've been survivors of sexual assault and rapes. And one of the big things that I'm writing on now that a lot of people don't want to talk about is Pifo Soldat. I'll say it in English first. When we do these interviews in both languages, I never know which language to speak, but
more than 50%,
more than 50% of the soldiers in Barbecue's gang alliance are children. They're under 18. And if you look at the images of when they're burning the different neighborhoods from Matissan to Grand Ravine, these are little kids, 13, 14, 15, 16. So how come no one's talking about the child soldiers of Haiti? It's something very reminiscent of the child soldiers we saw in the 1990s in Liberia, in Sierra Leone, and today in Sudan and in the Congo. But how come so many people forget Haiti? Well, that's because of racism and white supremacy. If it was Ukraine, if we were talking about Ukraine, the United States government has sent $350 billion for this war in Ukraine. And they can't do anything to help out the Haitian people, because to understand the gangs, you have to understand how many centuries of U.S. foreign policy, which is the main enemy of Haiti. Now they send the Kenyan soldiers and the Salvadorian soldiers, but those soldiers are, and those police are not standing with the Haitian people. We saw some of them get killed in Latibonite and in Kinskov. But in general, those police from foreign countries haven't done anything to protect the Haitian people, and they're outgunned. You know, Vivre Ensemble, what a weird name for a gang to live together. But that means the gangs can live together as they direct all of their rage, all of their violence against the masses of Haitian people. But then barbecue goes on TikTok, barbecue goes on Facebook, barbecue goes on every radio station to say, I'm a revolutionary, I'm Toussaint Louverture, I'm Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Monsieur, c'est un bluffé. Monsieur, c'est un jolet. Monsieur, Abay Mati. Monsieur, c'est un vagabond. Monsieur, c'est un terroriste.
Have you ever had a chance to meet the leaders of those gangs? Barbecue, for instance, ISO. Pas jamais rencontré eux. Pas jamais chance pas la avec eux, rencontrer eux.
Allé dans 2021, dans dimanche pas, moi t'ai allé là dans Delma 5, Delma 6 et pour joindre barbecue. Mais monsieur pas jamais sorti pour parler avec him. That was really before he became so famous. Because there's a saying in Haiti, Valerio, every time these foreign networks go to interview barbecue, another neighborhood is burned down. Another 20,000 or 50,000 people become homeless. So it's crazy for me. How come the foreign journalists don't talk to the Haitian people? How come they always talk to who could arguably call the number one terrorist in Haiti today, the one who carries out, and there's a connection, right? Haitians always talk about gangster qui gagne cravate avec gangster qui gagne qui j'en dit flip-flops.
Oui, qui gagne sapat. Gagne gangster qui gagne cravate, gagne gangster qui gagne sapat, yo tout gagne zam. How do you understand, I'm talking about the PNH, National Police of Haiti, backed up by the Kenyan, the MMAS, this mission in Haiti. Now, they should be in the numbers of 1,000 of them, according to United Nations here. Have you seen them able to actually dismantle the gangs? They're being outnumbered and... selon Jean étude des situations, est-ce que la police haïtienne, avec l'armée à tout la donne, force et multinationale là, ajoutée avec la police, vous pensez que vraiment pour tout le monde vrai, il n'y a pas qu'à démanteler les gangs? Qui sont ouais? Parce qu'il y a des gens qui disent que c'est une question de volonté. Et parce que quand même, avec toutes les armes que la police joigne, support que non seulement les États-Unis, Canada baillent, il n'y a pas arrivé à démanteler les gangs. Qui sont ouais situation ça?
The Haitian state, the Haitian police, they're fractured, they're divided. Some of the police officers for big money, they work with barbecue, they work with Vivre Ensemble. Some of them just to stay alive. Others have been in resistance. They've been alongside the people. There's a lot of police right now in Canapé Cap Campé avec Pepla. So that's the first thing to understand, that many police are corrupt. Other police have been patriotes. They've been patriotic. You know, the stereotype of Haitians that we hear every day is that, you know, Haitians will always sell out for money or for a visa, but that's not true. There's been many people who have held firm. I think the second big factor, and if we go back to examples of Pablo Escobar, for example, these international drug trafficking networks with all the cocaine that they move, we're talking about a $650 billion industry. So their guns are more powerful than the guns of the Haitian National Police. And some of the clips you showed there were the Haitian National Police attacking the masses of Haitian people in 2021 when there was the big rebellion against Jovenel Moise. So it's not that I'm in any way defending the Haitian National Police. I don't defend any intervention. It's interventions and occupations and invasions and U.S. imperialism. And Peuple Haïtien connaît ça. Peuple Haïtien connaît qui résultat toute occupation qui blanc yo a fait, c'est blanc yo ka voye tout zam sa yo pour gangster yo, pour terroriste yo. So Haiti's caught up in all these different lies and contradictions. So that's why we have to continue to research all this cocaine. And Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, talked about it last month. He said that Haiti and the genocidal violence against the Haitian people is a direct result of all of this cocaine. When we talk about cocaine, Valerio, we're talking about billions and billions of dollars of profit. So up to now, not even the Haitian state has been able to rival these international, and that's what ISO is. That's what Macano and Cité Soleil and Waf Jeremy and Mikano and Wa Mikano. These are cowards. Next time yo lâche. Si yo vraiment faux, c'est pour yo camper contre blanc yo, contre oligarque yo. Mais yo pe fait ça, so yo toujours pas attaquer ti peuple là. Malheureux yo, pauvre yo. Li pas fait sens. Puis faut moun kap souffrir tout moun. C'est madame yo.
No, in theory, there's well, I don't know where it's coming from, but people thinking that the gangs controlling 80% of the capital, it's a strategic. I guess it's very strategic. People are thinking maybe there is someone thinking there is a higher power thinking behind the strategy of the gangs, the way they are circling the capital itself. What do you think of that? And selon études, parce qu'on quand même qu'à Haïti plusieurs fois, qu'à aller dans quartier populaire, qui étudient, qui apprennent, qui comprennent. Qui gens capable de démanteler gang yo? Si ou même ou ta gagné pour conseiller chef police non Miramo ou bien secrétaire d'État à la sécurité publique, ancien DG la police Mario Adressol.
Mais oui, nous connaissons qui gangster yo, terroriste yo pas travail pour compte yo. Et yo gen un pile connexion parce que qui moun qui sait mettre port, the ports, qui moun qui gen avion pour aller Colombie et pour retourner, c'est pas pauvre yo. And I've done all the research. I have, all the books. If you go back to Époque du Valier, if you go back to Tim Schwartz and Monsieur Seyon-Lot, anthropologist, vive na Haiti. This new book here about Michel Martelly and all of his corruption. These gangs are super well connected internationally. They work with the oligarchs. There's foreign journalists who say that they're heroes and that this is a revolution. We're talking about 1 million Haitian people who have been displaced, burnt out of their homes, looted out of their homes. We're talking about how much sexual violence, how much rape. And Port-au-Prince was a very stable city. All the times that I visited the past 30 years, of course, Port-au-Prince had a lot of problems, but I've never seen anything like this. You would have to go back to 1915 in the U.S. occupation, or you would have to go back to 1803 before Haiti was free to see this level of disrespect for human life. And then we really have to talk about the traumatization of Port-au-Prince, the traumatization of how many generations of Haitian children, the orphans of the earthquakes who now have to pick up a gun. That's the only way they can eat. And we have to talk about the forced recruitment of these soldiers, but it's the everyday people who are traumatized. So there's no way to glorify what is happening. And most people in my country have no clue about what's going on. That's why these conversations and popular education efforts are so important.
The second part of my question was if you were to advise the head of the police force or even the international community for the knowledge that you've been accumulating by going to Haiti throughout your 30 years relationship with Haiti, your love for Haiti and your experience in Haiti, and as a professor yourself studying politics in the Caribbean, what would be the advice that you will give the international community, the head of the police force, or even the capite, the ninth president that we have heading the government of Haiti? What's your advice?
Yeah, the first thing, you have to cut off the cocaine routes from Colombia. You have to cut off the marijuana routes from Jamaica. Everyone knows, it's well documented, that Haiti is a transshipment point. Even though the Haitian people have no history of using cocaine, of using cocaine. Of course, the rich up in Pétionville, that's a whole different story. But the 99.5% of the Haitian people, they don't have a culture of using cocaine. But so much of the cocaine that makes its way to the United States and Spain and across Europe is going through Haiti. So if the CIA, the DEA, if they were serious about helping Haiti, but they're not, they're the ones that are complicit. A lot of times they finance their own stealth secret operations using this cocaine money. There's entire congressional inquiries in the 1980s about how they use cocaine to fund their war against Nicaragua, and they're doing the same thing. So Haiti's up against the biggest enemies in the world. So it's not that I have to give Yonti Conseil. People know exactly what's happening, but they're the ones that are guilty. It's the head of the Haitian National Police. It's the head of these occupations, whether it's Biden or Trump or Marco Rubio. They're completely complicit in the ongoing traumatization of all of Haiti and the diaspora as well. And I think, too, where is the diaspora? How come the diaspora is not standing up? We're talking about the capital city, Port-au-Prince, a city of 3 million people, no different than Brasilia or Santo Domingo or Mexico City, so many different capitals in the Americas and the Western Hemisphere. How can we allow an entire capital city to fall and be occupied? Et un pile moun qui n'a couru, qui traumatisé, et comment yo ka récupérer destinyo, avenir après y a souffri comme ça. Imagine, Valerio, all of the trauma. What about the next gen? What about the children? The children today? Children aren't going to school. I just read a study, 80% of children in Port-au-Prince don't know how to read or write. Middle schoolers and high school age students, because they don't go to school, because the gangs of the paramilitary units, the armed groups have taken over their communities. So it's extremely emotional and frustrating to be a witness to this, to talk to my Haitian friends and family on a daily basis and try to be a porte-parole, a voice for the voiceless, because here in the U.S., no one wants to interview Haitians. No one cares about Black people in the Caribbean. No one cares about people who speak Creole. No one wants to translate the 1 million refugees plus. They'd rather listen to a Dan Cohen or a Kim Ives, these American journalists who lie all day and try to paint a rosy, revolutionary picture when we're talking about the greatest humanitarian disaster right now in the Western Hemisphere. Probably, after the Congo, Sudan, and Palestine, arguably in the world.
We will touch the humanitarian aspect of Haiti now, going to a very, very chaotic stage and situation. But before we do so according to you, it's the drug trafficking and the drug, some business do a là. No, nothing political. Some would argue with you, will disagree with you that it's also politically motivated, what's going on in Haiti. How do you see that? It's only drugs that you see? Pas politique la question?
Non, mon cher. PHTK 100% coupable. Tout. Martelly. Mon cher, monsieur te chanté sous ça. Monsieur te chanté. Moi, c'est un bandit légal. Nous ka fait ça, nous vle. Ou pas ka fait rien. Na prend la rue. So, this all goes back to 2011. May 2011. Hillary Clinton flew down. She benighted Michel Martelly, and she, it was the Clintons and it was the U.S. government that intervened to put Michel Martelly in power. Michel Martelly did not represent the Haitian people, and Jovenel Moïse, continued the same legacy of the PHTK, and then Ariel Henry. So you don't have politicians who truly care about the Haitian people. Once in a while, you'll get a true, honest politician, but a lot of times they're assassinated, they're under attack. It's like you can't be honest and truly serve the Haitian people. Like, for example, if barbecue is truly a revolutionary, you think the U.S. government would allow people in the poor shanty towns of Port-au-Prince to have how many hundreds of thousands of guns? If this was truly a revolutionary, you don't think the Marines would invade? You don't think there'd be a blockade? Look what they've done to Cuba for 6 decades. Look what they've done to Venezuela for the past quarter of a century. If barbecue wasn't just a big talker and a liar and a manipulator, they would take out barbecue yesterday. But no, I agree with you completely. I'm not saying that it's one factor. I'm just saying that to analyze the guns and how a bunch of thugs from the ghettos of Haiti could have such high-powered machine guns that come from Israel and come from the U.S., we have to understand those international cocaine routes. We have to understand the gun trafficking. But we know that the PHTK is completely involved in this swamp of corruption.
Very well, and now we're talking about the humanitarian situation in Haiti, which is very, very bad. I don't have the latest from the United Nations, but according to what I've read in the past few months, I guess months ago, the situation is really bad. And you've been there before it got that bad. When you were there, the moment clips and là, il n'est pas aussi mal que ça. But we're gonna watch you in, I guess, in the neighborhood of Haiti, describing a little bit of the situation in Haiti. Pas gain de l'eau, pas gain d'électricité, et certainement une situation humanitaire qui grave. In other words, all kind of diseases and situation very bad. Let's take a look.
Who controls the water in Port-au-Prince? Who controls the water in Gaza? Behind me, without being intrusive, we've got permission from the community in Solino. We see dozens and dozens of families gathered, trying to get drinking water, trying to get clean water to bathe. Who controls the sewerage system in the trash? How many children come of age with this reality right here? This could be Gaza, but it's Port-au-Prince.
Now you're saying it could be Gaza, but it's Port-au-Prince. But Gaza was at war with Israel. Port-au-Prince, it's the gangs. How do you see the humanitarian situation in Haiti now?
Well, Valerio, unfortunately, I made that footage last year, and it's really just trying to give a platform, a voice to the Haitian people. It's always listening and translating, what they're educating me on. I stayed in those communities, and the people in that video are like family and friends and neighbors, but things have deteriorated like bad, like stuff I've never seen before. All those families you just saw are now homeless, living in the streets, survivors or murdered or raped and traumatized by these paramilitary gangs. Back in 2021, I kept hearing that from the people. I heard that barbecue's principal function in Delmamba was to make sure that these different neighborhoods didn't join the massive rebellion against Jovenel Moise. We remember there were millions and millions of people. That's when you and I first met, first started working together, because it was an honor for me, a historical responsibility and an honor to be a part of this massive uprising and to document it. Haiti was on the brink of a second 1804 revolution. Now, fast forward 4 years, there's no more. I mean, there's still demonstrations in Canapé Vert. That's one of the last neighborhoods left. All those families now live in the streets. They take over schools and use them as shelters. None of those kids can even go to school anymore. So really, a year ago, it was much better relatively to what it is now. And I was lied to too, Valerio. Different foreign journalists they sent me to go visit barbecue in 2021. And there's this foreign U.S. journalist based out of Brooklyn named Kim Ives, and he's been saying barbecues are revolutionary. This is 1804 again. And he was like a mentor to me back in the day, and I respected him and listened to him. But there were just so many lies. And then when I said, well, how come 1 million people are displaced in Haiti? And he just laughed and laughed at all the Haitians who are traumatized. So I have different motivations. I believe in protecting people and standing with people. You can't call it a mass upheaval or mass empowerment when it's mass rape and mass burning and mass murdering. And what's going to happen? There's no clear roads to get out of Port-au-Prince. We know that Izo and Tilapli, they control Route 2 to go to the south, and that's where the drugs are coming into Haiti, right? And then we know that they control as well Route 1 going up to the north. They just took Kenskoff. So we're talking about a dynamic where the walls of violence, the walls of massacres are closing in on the people of Port-au-Prince, a city of 3 million people. Who's going to stand with the people of Haiti? So it's really a moment of extreme despair. And I think we have to continue to sound our voices. And for diaspora yo, pour Haïtien qui na États-Unis, qui na Canada, comment nous ka mette tête nous ensemble pour nous vraiment faire un effort pour camper avec peuple la contre projet l'amour, projet terroriste.
Très bien. Vous faites appel ça en deux fois là pendant l'interview. Ça, vous dit que diaspora, ou comme si a pointé du doigt la diaspora. Vous dit qui ça diaspora fait? What can we do? The Haitian living abroad, the diaspora, Haitian diaspora. While in the United States, diaspora, ça fait face avec l'administration Donald Trump. Là. How do you see this situation here where the executive order signed by President Donald Trump is now ending the humanitarian parole for the Haitian, more than 530,000 of them, including the Haitians, of course. Now the TPS is going to be ending soon. All that situation, and of course they are facing deportation, going where? Going back to Haiti. The Haiti that you just described to us now. So how does the diaspora, qui gens diaspora capable agir, qui sa diaspora capable faire pendant que la fait face avec gros pression ça que l'administration de Trump a mis sous lui?
Situation vraiment red. Trump pas gain droit et vous déporter tout haïtien ça yo. Qui ça yo pour le faire comme yo à vivre dans une situation comme ça dans la Tibonite avec Port-au-Prince. Il gagne up grandi chaque jour. Et ça, c'est une violation droit moun. Faut que nous camper avec tout immigrant haïtien. I think when I say diaspora, when I think of the Haitian diaspora, I'm also speaking to Haitian Americans. So I'll go from Creole to English. A lot of Haitian Americans, they've become pi blanc passim. They just care about themselves. And they've become very vicieux and egoist. And how do we tap into their hearts? And first of all, they have to study. They have to understand Haitian history. They have to understand Haiti as a colony of the United States. This invasion and occupation of Haiti right now is the fourth U.S.-led, U.S.-sponsored, sending all these troops in the past 100 years. And that's what created the political and economic turmoil and context for the gangs to now occuper presque tout Port-au-Prince. But we need unity. We need Haitian leaders. There's different important groups that they should follow and study. But every day there's more censorship on Elon Musk's X, on the different platforms that we use. I mean, my social media presence, I've been attacked and censored. So it's tough to get the word out. We need Haitians to stand up, to go back to history. You know, it's easy to talk about Dessalines, but what would Dessalines do right now? It's easier to talk about Chamay Peralt, and what would they do right now? And I just want to dispel, I think, a certain misunderstanding. The same way that I went to all of those ghettos and bidonvilles, they welcome anybody that's there to learn and share and boy on ti clairin or on ti prestige. You know, Haitian people are beautiful people. So knowing all of my years going to Cité Soleil and going to Cité Militaire, I have beautiful, beautiful memories. Of course, gen moun ki fwe kan, Valerio. Mwen ka di ou sa, men, yo kapab vole mwen, yon baye kon sa. But overall, I had very beautiful experiences across Port-au-Prince, Okap, Okai, Jérémie, Lester.
Oui, mais d'accord avec moi. There is this mentality, it's a Haitian thing, I guess, that someone like you, Caucasian, going to Haiti, being able to do all that, a Haitian, just like myself or anyone else who's watching now, would not be able to do. Would you agree with me? Ou plus côté, ou gen plus côté que n'importe qui l'autre haïtien dans le pays. Parce que simplement, ils sont blancs.
More shit, well, you're too famous, so we can't, you're not a normal person. Tout le monde confie ou, ça veut dire, ils sont en situation qui ont petit gens différents.
Justement, c'est la guerre danger.
N'importe diaspora, n'importe haïtien qui sorti Brooklyn, Queens, yo ka marcher avec him too. Yo kon marcher avec him. Peuple haïtien, si ou pas vin sou, yo pas vin sou, y a protégé ou.
Mais par contre, en sérieux, Dany, now, we're talking about now. I mean, really, no, seriously, I mean, where would you go?
Not now. Now I can only go to Canapé-Vert, Akaye, Pétionville, but they took part of Pétionville, they took La Boule, Amba, they took Kenskoff. No, Port-au-Prince is run by terrorist gangs. I could never overglorify what it's become. It breaks my heart. I haven't been able to go back to La Tibonite in Lester and Semak for a long time. Haiti's a brand, it's a different Haiti. I've never seen Haiti like this in 30 years. And that's why we have to continue sounding the alarm. But all these years when people told me, Upaka Ale, ti Brooklyn, ti Boston, na Cité Soleil, mwen ta privé an pile côté, and mwen te gen belle experience. Yes, there was a lot of poverty. Yes, there was a lot of grand goût, hunger. But everything that I had, I tried to share. We would make food together. Mwen tap rive nan peristil, pou mwen chita, pou mwen danse, I used to study and go to the different Haitian voodoo ceremonies. People talk so much that voodoo is just negative, but voodoo is also a way of life in Haiti. It's the music, it's the culture, it's the ancestors. So I'm the type of person, Valerio, I'm not a person that's guided by fear. I go and meet people. I've been to over 80 countries in the world, and yeah, I've been robbed in many places. I've had many different experiences, but I'm right here. I'm stronger than ever. Mwen pa pe, même j'avec des salim pa jampe.
Wow. And let's mention that you've been going around. You were in Brazil as well. You've been in the slums and quartier pauvre dans Brésil. Tout Amérique latine presque. Et vous parlez en pile langue. Vous parlez portugais, italien, français, anglais, créole, même des ça. Et puis vous écrit un pile livre, vous écrit un pile, alors un pile papier qu'on écrit. Your latest scriptures about Haiti. Qui s'accueille, qui coûte capable de joindre. Tell us where we can find what you're writing about Haiti. Your research about Haiti.
Yes, I've published at the North American Congress for Latin America, NACLA. I've published it Truth Out. I've published it Counterpunch and Popular Resistance. And, there's a lot of censorship and there's a lot of powerful forces who've done everything to attack our ability to tell the truth about Haiti. And people have their own interests. I've known different forces, very evil forces, who continually try to support this gang project, this death project in Haiti. And it hasn't been easy, to often stand with the Haitian people when we've been on attack on all sides. But people can follow me at Prof. Dany Shaw. I'm always trying to translate Haitian voices and get the words out. And it's important for people to share the links, because with censorship, I think every day the war on Haiti intensifies. The war on Haiti is not just a military and paramilitary war, it's an informational war. It's a communicational war. It's a media war. Valerio, most Americans would have no way of distinguishing 2025 Haiti and how dangerous Port-au-Prince is compared to 2021 Haiti. 4 years ago, I was marching through all of those streets with hundreds of thousands of Haitians. And afterwards, we would celebrate and eat and dance. Port-au-Prince 4 years ago was amazing. It was only Barbecue's neighborhood and in other areas, Matissan, that began to get shut down. But the gang project continues to grow and grow and grow. So everyone listening, please support Molegaf and support Rassemblement and support all of these different community groups that are standing with the Haitian people.
Very well. Professor Dany Shaw, thank you for your friendship for Haiti, your love for Haiti, actually, and being part of the show. But I ask you this again, I'll ask the question again, because coming from you, someone that people are watching now, you regardez, il y a un blanc qui a parlé d'Haïti, qui a parlé, qui compte pays tellement bien, qui a parlé langue. Mais question à retourner. We're going to end up with this question here. I'll try to ask the question again. Maybe at the end of the interview, you have an answer for me. Qui ça peut arriver à Haïti, qui futur pour Haïti, et qui ça nous qu'a fait? Again, I'll ask the question, what can be done? And where do you think the international community can help? Are they helping? Have they helped? According to you, there's never been any help from the international community. The new administration of Donald Trump, quand pile monde qui dit que Donald Trump pas intéressé sur Haïti. Ou parler de diaspora, you mentioned you're calling out the diaspora itself. What's the answer for Haiti?
Yeah, no, I have a clear vision, and I think the Haitian people have a clear vision. The problem is the international community is always dominated by England and France and Germany and NATO and the US. Well, where is South Africa? And where is Russia? And where is Brazil? And where is Nicaragua and Cuba? So I think the BRICS nations have a different vision for Haiti. Haiti should be able to trade their products and have international commerce. The future of Haiti, there should be no occupation. I mean, if there was an occupation and an invasion of Haiti, wouldn't they at least cut off all the guns? Wouldn't they cut off the drugs? If you look at Izo and Tilabli, these are cartels. Izo brags about it. Anyone can look up Village des Diens. Izo, he's like the new, international cartel. Why? Because he controls Port-au-Prince Bay. He controls the trade routes. And Gustavo Petro, the president of Colombia, spoke about this. So the solution for Haiti begins with cutting off the guns from the north, cutting off the drugs from the south, and then allowing the Haitian people to have a salut public with Lavalas and Pap Da and all these different political groups that truly care about the Haitian people. But the Haitian left. That's what 2004 was when Lula in Brazil and they occupied with Chilean soldiers. They killed the Haitian left. There were 7,500 Lavalas leaders who were put in jail, who were murdered in Tredwell-Man, Cité Soleil. So we have to rescue that history and return to a truly patriotic, anti-imperialist, But to quote Komokoda and Daoud André, a great leader here in Brooklyn, this is just the next chapter in Haiti's centuries-long liberation struggle. They're going to keep fighting. People should follow Haiti Information Project, the Haitian committee in San Francisco with Pierre. There's all these different groups. So people have to find the groups that are doing the true work. And those are the groups that are under attack, that are censored. So people watching have to do their own homework. The enemy's not going to hand deliver the truth to you so you can make sense of it. The war on the Haitian people, including the diaspora, is an ideological war. It's a media war. So that's why there's so much confusion, as you know, Valerio.
Professor Dany Shaw, thank you for your time. Thank you for your interest in Haiti, and thank you for sharing your thoughts about the latest situation in Haiti, and especially Port-au-Prince. Thank you again.
Thank you. Kembe Lafon.